We're headed back to World War II for World War II Operation WhiteBox by Pete Spawn, Small Niche Games. This is a brand new mission that I'll be telling you about that's just come out. It's called Operation Peardrop, and it's written by Bruce Cunnington, who is a new writer for the game. He's from England, and he's given us a great new little mission here that is part of the British Commandos. And I will do a small little review before any spoilers are dropped, just in case maybe you don't want to hear everything about it. Maybe buy it for your group if you're interested in it. So it's a sandbox type mission. It's got many different things going on with it and locations. You're going to be able to role play in it. Obviously, run amok, shooting down Nazis, and really causing a stir. So overall, it's got your normal layout that you know from Operation WhiteBox if you picked it up before any of the missions. It's got that great layout, easy to use, and it's going to give you the ability to recreate a mission that was called Operation Acid Drop, but it didn't really amount to anything. So this is kind of an alternate take of Bruce's where stuff does happen, and you're going to be able to be involved in that. There's a lot going on in the mission, and you're going to have to make a lot of choices as the player characters about what's important, what's a primary target, maybe what's a secondary target, and what exactly your group wants to do. So I think it's going to be a neat mission where multiple groups will have different choices they've made and different outcomes in how they made those choices. So that's kind of my non-spoiler review right there. I think it's great, of course. I did do the proofreading on it, and I help as much as I can with Operation WhiteBox with Pete. So just to get that out there, it's only 24 pages, so it's not too it's not too big, not too short. It's just it's a good size, and I'll get right into the spoiler part of it now. So if you don't want to listen to that, I appreciate you watching, but here we go. Obviously I'm a little bit biased because I am such a big fan of Operation WhiteBox, and it's going to be set in August of 1941. The British Commandos have been ordered by Winston Churchill to pretty much run amok on the French countryside now that the Nazis have taken over, and so that's what you're going to be able to do. You're going to have a couple of different insertion points on the beach. Each one of those is going to have its different obstacles to face, and I think that's a really neat theme because, again, right off the bat, you've got 3 choices, and that's going to depend on if you play this adventure or this mission multiple times, which Bruce has at many cons, what part of the beach did they insert in. So I think that's a great thing right off the bat to just, it's going to be different, probably every time you run this mission. So the location is Pas-de-Calais in France, and you've got, of course, your normal setup of, objectives and planning, but you've got a couple things that the characters are supposed to do if they can. They might not be able to get all these done. Assess German military strength in the area, identify AA sites, make contact with the French resistance, and capture or kill in German soldiers. That's a given. Okay, I know a lot of people are probably going to do the former of that. So again, you're going to be able to choose your weapons you have. Now, there's one thing I really like about Operation WhiteBox. It plays very loose. The GM can decide what type gear and stuff to give the players, and that's just fun. It is, there's not really very strict, and it's enjoyable, to bring along a couple things or to think about what you might need in this mission. So the insertion is going to be, like I said, 3 different beach areas, and you're going to get a map that's going to show the different insertions, as well as a players only map, which obviously doesn't have all the spoilers on it. But you're going to get your normal rundown of the NPCs, including French resistance, as well as and the civilians, as well as Gestapo, because they're in the area as well, obviously being turds, as we know. And then you've got a couple of different locations on the Almont beach in the countryside. You've got a wrecked bomber from the Brits who have one of the pilots has survived and has been taken to a farmhouse, and of course in the farmhouse is the French resistance. So it's kind of a neat little connection right there. And then when you are able to get there to meet the French resistance, they're going to obviously give you more information on the village that the mission is mainly centered around. So it's just kind of nice that you get, you might find the wreck, you might find the farmhouse, and they're taking care of him in there. He's wounded. So it's just kind of a good little connection right there. There's also a farmhouse where a bunch of the Germans are staying. They've kind of taken it over. And there's also a cannery. Pretty much they're creating a It's a facility. It's called the Anders Cannery. They're creating a new type of smokescreen formula, which has made aerial footage and surveillance difficult to get. So this is a neat little place right here. There's no map for it, so this is a mission where you can, because it shouldn't be something that's too big, kind of there's not a whole bunch of enemies there, but it can be a kind of a stealth moment for the mission. You can go in guns blazing, of course, and anytime you go in guns blazing in this countryside, you're going to bring more Germans to you. But one thing I like about this Anders Cannery is that this, if you want to add a little bit of weird kind of occult stuff into your game, maybe this factory is not doing this smokescreen. Maybe they're doing something else a little bit more sinister. So this, I think I would pinpoint out as being a good kind of strange, weird World War II location. There's some Flak 37 emplacements that are around the town as well, and that's obviously going to be one of the missions as well. So Almont-sur-Mer is the name of the village, and you're going to get a whole write-up for this little village, as well as the church, the village square. There's a cafe, a doctor, which of course if the players get hurt or whatever, you can go there and he can help patch you up. There's a hotel, again, just full of Germans, and it's also a way that you can go in quite stealthily and kind of mingle in with the populace of the town. So I think that's cool. So we've already got maybe some big combat. We've already got some stealth. If you want to add in some of the occult stuff, you can in the cannery, or just blow it up as it is, or mess with it as it is. You can't probably blow it up. It's probably too big for that. But you can really, obviously, maybe steal some of the designs for that special smoke screen. So already within just a very small amount of locations, we've got a lot of stuff that is just exciting in the mission. One thing I really enjoy is that the church, it's the Church of St. Judah. The priest there, the father, he is pretty much a traitor, and he thinks that he's all about being pacifist, and he's pretty much a traitor that runs and tells the Germans should you seek him out. So I just didn't really enjoy that kind of multiple layers there of what this mission's got going for it, that you have somebody that's actually kind of ratting people out. They actually ratted out the farm where the French resistance is. So you can obviously see where you can have a lot of fun with this guy. There is a lovely couple in the cafe that also have a radio, so maybe you can get out some information that way. There is a van that the Gestapo has that they're listening for illegal radio transmissions. So there's just this kind of cool subterfuge type thing going on in the town, as well as maybe the characters sneaking in under disguise, maybe, and intermingling amongst the populace. So sabotage is here, full-on combat, big firefights at the cannery or against the flat guns. And then there's a garage that has been it's been transformed into a motor pool full of the German vehicles. And then, of course, the area where the Gestapo is. They're in a flat in an apartment, and you can take it straight to the Gestapo. So, good maps. They set it out very easily for you. And I love, of course, getting maps just for the players, intel maps for them to see. And it's just neat to think about when you're showing your players this. You can slide across the map and kind of stand above it and kind of do that whole pre-planning war thing. So overall, it's just very contained. It's got a lot of different options of play style, and I think it's fantastic. I think Bruce has completely knocked it out of the park with this. Multiple entries, multiple things to kind of get the players' attention. They can't do it probably all in the time limit that they have. A lot of the actions they do is going to bring more Germans to them, and they can set up ambushes, they can have subterfuge, they can go in stealthily, they can blow stuff up, and it does have a means to do a more kind of sinister thing with what's going on in that facility. And that's just my own kind of look at how you could do with the mission if you're interested in that. So there's Operation Peardrop. It's on Drive Through RPG. I'm a big fan of it. It's definitely one that I would probably run first off for new players of Operation WhiteBox. So there's the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and check out if you like World War II. It's such a complete game, Operation WhiteBox is, and a lot of stuff has been out, is already out for it. There's tons of great missions, and I know I've done some videos on it, but I'll continue to do videos on this game, let people know about what's out there for them to pick up, especially with a new writer comes along like Bruce, who just knocks it out of the park, I think, right off the bat. And yeah, I really appreciate this mission that he did, and I look forward to more stuff from him for Operation WhiteBox. So Bruce, get writing, bud. So yeah, there it is. Good mission, and I think anybody that likes Operation White Box is going to really like it. So thanks for watching.